Good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to our Natural Health News live show here on YouTube. It's so great to have, and Instagram. It's so great to have each and every one of you join me this morning. I hope everybody is having a fantastic morning as we kind of get motivated. It's a little bit of a slower start for us, and I'm excited that I slept really great last night, which is the topic of our conversation today, of how to get better sleep. So I'm curious how many of you have been sleeping well because of stress and just anxiety and, change of routine, change of season, change of schedule. Definitely does not support healthy sleep. So welcome to all of you joining me. I hope you guys are all having a great morning. And really, there's a lot of news to report today. So we have another CDC, the MMWR, their morbidity and mortality weekly report. I'm going to go over that. Some of the findings. We knew they were kind of leaning the way they went with the assessment of the type patient profiles, and some discrepancies within racial community or racial components and communities of individuals of color, and then also the typing of illness that they're seeing. So I got a little flack for how I communicated that and apologize to anybody I offended. I'm just trying to report news in the best way that I can. I'm not a trained reporter, but definitely try to give you all powerful, impactful information that can help you and your families be safe and well during this time frame. And so that's really where my impetus and mode of having a live show. So for all of you joining, if you're new, welcome. Please follow or hit the subscribe button and be a part of our community. I'm also really excited to report that we have a video sponsor. So today's video, this live show, a lot of our live shows now are going to be sponsored by different brands because of YouTube and their censorship. We just have to make it more economical for us here to do this. But Vine Nutrition, they have this beautiful label and this really yummy gummy. This is a hair, skin, and nails gummy. And it looks like a little thing of grapes. It has a mango flavor in it. And there is a whole bunch of nutrients in this. So it's very dense in micronutrients. But what I love about it, it has PABA, collagen, and silicone, and in gummy form. So I know a lot of my adult patients that I work with love gummies, and they love to take in their nutrition in gummy format. So actually our biggest sellers of gummies in my physical store, especially when I had my clinic and our retail component where we, stock thousands of products, gummies always sold really well. So these guys are pretty amazing in terms of what they've put together. They also have 600 mcgs of biotin. So they've got all the right nutrients for powerful, strong skin, hair, and nails. But also they have a discount code. So they are providing $5 off on any single bottle. There's a link down below in the description box on YouTube. And then 25% off multi-pack. So you can buy several of these. But do check them out. It's a pro hair formula. And very, very excited to work with them. So we want to thank them. Let's give them a round of applause. Yay, thank you for sponsoring our video because it allows me to bring you this content. So, and I've prepared a lot for us today, particularly the news I think is impactful. And then also the CDC actually put out 2 things that we're going to talk about. 3 to be precise, 3 things. And then we're going to dig into sleep because I know many of you are not sleeping well. Sleep is really the way to balance and offset the stress impact of the quarantine and just the stress we're dealing. So also, you guys are probably going to hear a huge truck coming in. I think I hear it now. Yep. Our freezer chest is arriving. So hopefully these guys just drop it off in the front like we had asked. And that was a whole nightmare in and of itself. Lowe's completely botched the order totally. I was supposed to get it yesterday. So it's just a mess. So let me fix. Yeah, we're going to hear a lot of dog barking. Sorry, you guys. Okay. And Brian's on a call this morning and Gabriel's doing school. So we're just craziness. All right. So let's dig in. News today. We're at 434,000 cases, almost 435. We'll probably be at 450 later on today. Our mortality rate has increased to over 14,000, almost 15. So we are at that point of pretty intense intensity. Usually 2 to 3 weeks from the time people are tested would be when they'd be in the ICU. And I know this because they've identified a lot of that through some of this, the analysis of the time frame. This takes Daisy. Come here, pup. Come here. Come here. Come see. Come. Okay. Daisy's going to come in and see me. I'd rather her be in here with me. You might be able to see her tail. I don't think she can jump up. Here, you want to jump up and say hi? Come here. Come on. Come on. Sorry, you guys. This is working from home at its finest. Okay. So New York is almost at 150,000 cases. They've bypassed multiple countries that have had an intense outbreak stuff. And New Jersey's almost at 50,000, which is pretty intense. And Michigan, it just hit over 20,000. So Michigan is for sure a hot spot. California and Oregon have been shipping some of the ventilators and supplies there. So we're seeing some of that cross support. Hey, girls, stop. Oh, geez. You know what? Hold on, you guys. Jeez. Hold on. Hold on. Girls, stop. Thank you. Thanks. Just leave it at the door the driveway. Thank you. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay, come on in here. You're gonna come in here. Okay. 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 We have our freezers coming. I'm so excited. Thankfully, sorry you guys. Okay, so the freezer is getting dropped off by Lowe's, and we have a little guard doggy over here. Okay, so now let's talk about some major news. Yes, everybody loves seeing Daisy. She's a sweetheart. Okay. Hey, stop. They don't need to hear you barking. Okay, so let me share with you the first degree of the first report. We have awesome guard dogs. Nobody's ever going to come and get us. Daisy, come here, pup. Okay, so the first report is, this is a weekly report. I shared this last week. This is how we got the breakdown and detailing of the type of hospitalizations. This came from last week. Okay, so this week they broke out and looked at the hospitalization rates and then the characteristics of the patients. So they wanted to analyze what individuals are being hit the hardest with this, and assessing the different types of patient profiles. So the most common to date were individuals that had hypertension, obesity, chronic lung disease, and diabetes. So they identified that these medical underlying conditions were the underlying element that ended up having them be hospitalized. Then also they highlight the need for preventative measures, but they also dug into a subset within this that really kind of analyzed 14 states. So our more heavily hit states. And yesterday I highlighted just 4 states that had been analyzed by the individual state departments. Well, it's all been put together by the CDC. So the CDC compiled all that, and they analyzed even New York and New Jersey. So we know New York, New Jersey have made the majority of these cases, and obviously the data, quantitative data would be most important to assess. So they analyzed a total of 1,400, almost 1,500 patients. So again, looking globally, it's not a large quantity of people, but we're also running where this is just in its infancy in data. So this will continue to be gathered and articulated. But essentially, what they analyzed was just disproportionately Black folks and African Americans tend to have the greater hospitalizations. And part of this, we did see from yesterday, like Louisiana and Illinois, really, really highlight some of the disparities. And there's just so much more to that. But I think it is interesting, though, they've been able to track some of the what we call the super spreaders. I've mentioned this a little bit about, what is it about some of these outbreaks where, one gathering yields 10 or 12 or 13 cases, like that one family where they had the mother and like 3 or 4 children died. And it was, a particular family, I think they were in Connecticut or New Jersey. Okay. I don't think they need anybody to sign anything. Oh, gosh. Oh, sorry. I guess they're getting Brian to sign something. So anyway, they're starting to investigate some of these clusters because they're doing more tracing of the gatherings. And so like Illinois, for example, this comes from the state of Illinois. They've identified there are 2 situations that were the major outbreak sources in Chicago. One was a funeral. And so at this funeral, and they've done, this is what contact tracing looks like, where they identify the source and then who all's kind of been impacted. Obviously, the black is not the good sign. Those are the mortality, the fatalities from those. But essentially, Chicago identified that the major cause of their big outbreak came from 2 events. One was a funeral, and they've even been able to identify like, the host had this contact, and then this one individual came in with a fever and a cold. And then from there, another individual had gone to the birthday party. So like they literally kind of track it out. And from that, there are a multitude of patients that came from this. And this contact tracing is 28 days. So this is why social distancing is critical and crucial, because we've identified what happens, just the cross blend of individuals and big gatherings. Like, the idea of gathering for a party of 5 or 10 could kill everybody at that party. If not other, those 5 individuals go to other events. And that's why social distancing is absolutely crucial, and why this Easter season, and by the way, happy Passover for all of those who celebrate Passover. It kicked off last night, and we're ending the Lenten season. We have Good Friday tomorrow and Easter on Sunday. And, this is a traditional time of big gatherings, which unfortunately we cannot do. We cannot do that. So I have these links down below. This one particularly, it came off of a different report, and I will hunt this down and try and get this. If not, I might just post it on a Google Drive and give you guys the link to that. But this MMWR really does assess where we're at today in terms of, they looked at 90 people in 99 counties. 99 counties, 14 states, and just really assessed the hospitalizations in March. So it is more of a profile of March, if anything. And then they did break down, the age groups. So over here, we have, infants 0 to 4 all the way up to over 80. So you can definitely see the age group that's more heavily hit. And then it does break out a little bit of the states. So this state actually happens to be Connecticut, and then it goes all the way down amongst the 14. But so I want to put this out there. I think what we have to assess is that information is power. And the way that we get a handle of everything that's going on is to have data be put out. So this is substantial. I know a lot of people have some mistrust with a lot of the data coming out, but they're running on what they can, pulling information from the hospital EMR, so the electronic medical record. And you're going to see a lot of different reporting that kind of takes the data and assesses it. And the big thing is we have to understand the data is what it is. And then we have to also analyze how can we use the data to keep us safer and healthier? So that I think is really important. But contact tracing, this is quite fascinating. This particular report, just simply 2 events, a birthday party and a funeral, and this blew up the Chicago cases. Just 2 events, and different people interfacing, hugging, kissing, unprotected. then moving to some other event. Then one of them, they actually contact traced one. She went to a church service, and then boom, full on exposure. Speaking of, I need to address this again. Louisiana is up there. I think they're in the 4th or 5th spot of most substantial cases. Out of all the states, they have the least amount of medical resources. A lot of these communities, they call them parishes. They're kind of like counties, but the parishes do not have the degree of medical support. One of them doesn't even, like St. John the Baptist I reported earlier, that parish doesn't even have a medical facility. I mean, what do these people do when they get this virus? So there is a pastor in, let's see, I didn't even get the parish. There's a pastor in Louisiana who has been arrested the 31st. So he was arrested last week. Then on Sunday, he got out. On Sunday, he hosted a service where there are thousands of people. And his communication was that true Christians should view death as a welcome friend. Well, this virus is not anybody's welcome friend. And it for sure is not a peace-filled passing. That's for sure. So, there are many like this individual who are going to be threatening and putting people in harm's way, especially when we have contact tracing, where we can see one group gathering ends up infecting hundreds, if not thousands. So just be really cognizant and, try and urge friends and family to go virtual. I mentioned to Brian, like, is your family, are they thinking about doing something virtual? Because maybe we should have a little Easter connection with everybody. But I think that's really important for us to assess. So some other news, the CDC, this has gotten a little skewed in the news. So I want to be really clear. The CDC put out a self-quarantine guideline for the greater New York City transportation and delivery workers. This came out as if it was across the board for workers all over the states. And it's not. So this is just more for folks like Anita. I don't know if Anita, I haven't really been watching the comments. I don't know if Anita's on. Anita's our kind of trucker here. We have another individual that they're transporting, and some of them have even been in the New York area. This highlights the recommendations from the CDC about what to do to keep themselves safe. And then what if they are showcasing symptoms. So you're going to hear some communication that this just across the board applies for grocery workers. And that's not really truly like what their headline says. So I just want to put that out there. And it said basically they're recommending that truck drivers and other people driving into the city who are delivering the needed supplies, they are recommending they stay in their vehicles as much as possible as the supplies are being loaded and unloaded. So they're saying avoid, being 6 feet or more away from others, and to print electronic receipts. Like the guys, I think, had Brian probably sign something, which is insane. So, their recommendation is that if these workers obtain or deliver supplies in the area, if they have to go outside of their area and maybe they work, like, let's say you live in Connecticut, you're driving in, they're recommending that they stay at home and practice social distancing, because they're starting to identify these folks are the most at risk in terms of the greatest interfacing with other parties, like unfortunately hospital workers at this point. So they're just saying, be really cautious. So that's it. We have not yet seen overall guidelines. I haven't seen anything from the CDC that recommends grocery shopping and whatnot. But again, I know folks that are in these stores that are working, gloves, mask, goggles, even hair protection, depending on how much of an interface they're making. So for folks, if you're finding this interesting, give me a thumbs up, give me a little like, hit the share button. We're at about 120, 130 folks on our feed. I'd love to see our thumbs up go higher. That's always very supportive. And again, I want to thank our Vine Nutrition. This is our video sponsor today. So we have a live video sponsor now every day who's going to be sponsoring our live show. So this allows me to bring this to you without concern that YouTube has demonetized all of our video content. So this gummy supports hair, skin, and nails. They have collagen, biotin. It also has PABA and silicone. So this is really powerful at making your skin, hair, and nails strong. I have it in the description box. They have some discounts, $5 off a bottle and 25% off a pack. So today I'm going to bring you some good news, and then we're going into how to sleep better. So some good news network, I talked about the amazing YouTube channel, John Krasinski, I think is his name. He posted another video 2 days ago, and it is awesome. So if you guys want to laugh, get some good news, happy faces, smiles, and just pure joy, his YouTube channel is awesome. So it's his second show. I think he's probably going to put one out a week, it seems like. And then I read 2 stories about some restaurants who are trying to support their communities. One back at home, one of our favorite breakfast restaurants. It's actually a full-fledged breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But in South Tampa, they've even expanded to other areas in the Tampa Bay area. It's called DATS. And the owners, they had to lay off. I think I think it equated to like 90% of their staff at the restaurant. And, we knew a lot of these people. Well, they started to look at in their main, their original store, they have all this memorabilia and stuff. So they started to look online to see how much all of it was worth. And they started selling it to just their customers. So they posted online. And apparently they had some sort of really expensive, exclusive whiskey brand, some sort of size that's really expensive. So the woman identified that this particular whiskey that they had, this one whiskey manufacturer only makes these like maybe 20 a year or something. And they had something from in the 70s. They posted it to their community, and the cost she found, it was about a $20,000 value. They actually had one of their customers who is a retiree from MacDill Air Force Base, because we have we have an Air Force base in South Tampa. There's a lot of retirees. It's where CENTCOM is located, headquartered. Well, this couple supported DATS, and they doubled the price, and they gave her $40,000, and she's been able to bring back some employees. So I know, oh my gosh, $20,000 for whiskey. It's insane. But talk about great support, local owners being supported by local patrons. I love stories like that. And then also there's a Sandbar. It's a restaurant on Tybee Island. And apparently the owner had to lay off people as well. And she said, in our bar, she had tons of dollars and bills on the wall. So she started taking the dollars off and actually gathered $3,700, and she gave that to her employees. So isn't that great? I love stories like that. Daisy loves stories like that. We got some tail wagging for Instagram. I'll show you our Daisy. You see our Daisy. Say hi, Daisy. She's so sweet. Okay. So we love our puppies. Puppies, pet your puppies. Puppies make us happy. Okay. You want to come up here? You want to say hi to everybody? Here, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. I want to say hi. Okay, so she's going to say hi to everybody. Okay. All right. So that was our good news. Now we're going to talk about natural sleep. I know. Oh, she's a good doggy. Oh, she's good. Mwah. She's my good doggy. Isn't she pretty? She's a good puppy. She's our little rescue. She was rescued. I'll just give you a little story. We love rescuing animals. I do. I'm the rescuer. I'd be not a rescue hoarder, but I have a bleeding heart for animals and people in need. So Daisy was saved from the euthanization list on a South Georgia kill shelter list. She was a sick puppy, and our Humane Society here in Atlanta saved her. See if she isn't too pretty. So they saved her, and we met her, I think, the day she hit the floor at the Humane Society, and we basically scarfed her up. So Brian was out of town. I didn't really tell him that I was getting a dog. So I'm not ever going to live that one down, but Daisy is a total lover, and she seriously is, I think, one of the best doggies we've gotten, and she is Gabriel's puppy. And we told him when he turns 5 in September that she can start to sleep with him, because he'll be bigger and she'll be a little calmer. And her birthday's in June. She will turn, let's see, how you're going to turn 3. You're going to turn 3, right? Okay. All right. So lots of kisses. Okay. Thanks, you guys. Daisy's our little sweetheart. So we have all good doggies, but she's a little naughty girl because she keeps jumping the fence because apparently this e-collar, it's not tuned up. So we have to get the guy. She likes to visit all of our friends around us, but now knowing, that we have neighbors that aren't being cautious, we have to bathe her and clean her up and contaminate her every time we do that. So it's getting a little annoying. Okay, so let's get on to our regular program here. Get down. You want to get down or you want to stay up here? You want to stay? Okay. All right. You can here. Lay down on my lap. All right. She's going to lay down on my lap. Here, lay down. It's okay. We're stable. Here. Okay. Here. Okay. All right, you guys. So it's the Melissa and Daisy show this morning. Okay, so let's talk about natural sleep tips. That is the really key thing that I wanted to highlight today, because a lot of you voted on our poll specifically about how you're not sleeping well, you want to sleep better, and you feel like the stress is really getting to you. You're having anxiety, not sleeping well or thoroughly. The hot flashes are really ramped up. So I want to kind of dig into really 3 core steps of getting into a good, healthy sleep. So comment down below and let me know if sleep has been challenging to you, or if you've noticed differences and changes in your sleep pattern. Because I know for us, initially we were okay. And then we kind of started noticing like 2.5 weeks in, things were not fabulous. So we've had to kind of up our routine and protocol in terms of how do we nourish our body. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to really create an environment of sleep. And there are a multitude of ways to do this. The first one, I don't know if you guys can see this right there, is to employ a salt lamp. Salt lamps are both powerful for clearing out sinus congestion and very good for, creating a healthy environment in your room. But they also create ionization, and ionization is very calming to the body. It's very pro-lymphatic in its process. So it helps with detox. And then also, I just have to fix this. This thing's kind of annoying. Also, it is just a very calming, soothing, kind of gentle light that you can have in your room that isn't anything intense. So salt lamps are number 1. Number 2, I brought in my big boy. So let me move here you go, Instagram. Okay, so my big boy right here, this is a UV air filter. So I work with a lot of air filter companies, not a whole lot, but several that are great. So just like water filtration, air filtration is crucial. And as you guys see, I don't know if you can see her tail. She's laying next to me now. We have 3 dogs. We have a child. We have 2 grown adults. We have a lot of dust and particles, and then also we have pollen outside, and we're in the middle of a construction project with our kitchen. So it becomes necessary that we clean our air, and cleaning air helps us breathe better. And UV particularly is very powerful at minimizing pathogens. It has the ability to kill the viruses that are floating through our system. So when I dig into like creating a healthy, clean home in terms of an antivirus related home, or if somebody's convalescing and they're positive, this type of unit would be powerful. And it is very powerful. Like, it is humongous, but it's easy for us to move around. It has wheels. It's got settings, different settings. Like right now, it's actually on. You can't even hear it, but it has this whisper zone. So it's constantly filtering. And there's layers where it has a HEPA filter. There's several layers of HEPA, but it's a HEPA filter that you remove every month, 2 months, or 6 months, depending on how much. Like, we have a lot more than probably most people, so we remove it every two months. But then they've got a really thick, deep HEPA filter on the bottom, and the space in between, they have UV bulbs they're radiating, and as they're moving down, all that stuff is getting killed by the UV light. Very, very powerful. So that also aids in you feeling better because you're getting cleaner air. So for folks who snore, maybe have challenges in how they kind of have that throat closing, snoring, rattling, maybe even folks that have sleep apnea that aren't wearing their machines for oxygen, clean air can help at least support a reduction in the inflammatory state of your sinuses and your airways. That's really key. So the other thing that I love, and I want to make sure I'm addressing all questions here. I love this one particular diffuser from Guru Nanda. So I've just fallen in love with this brand. I think it's pretty amazing. This is very versatile. This is a USB, and this thing can move up. So you could have this and plug this during the day into your laptop or computer. It also can plug into the wall, actually. So this is how I use this. I have several of these, and then it has a little button, and this is what gets diffused out. And so you can put your aromatherapy, and you just, in the top, you just screw your bottle in, and it fits all different bottles. So it's not just Guru Nanda. I actually have multiple salt lamps. I have multiple diffusers, and I have multiple filtration. I have filtration in every bedroom, and then I have 2 for downstairs. So we have, that's where the dogs are. Mostly they don't go upstairs. So I put this in, I turn it on at night, and there's a blue light and a green light, and the blue just diffuses like every 5 or 10 minutes, just a little hit of aromatherapy. I like this because I feel like it helps support the flow of aromatherapy, and I don't use so much. Whereas like some of the pads I've used in the past, we used to sell these things I'd plug in and you put a little pad. They get really hot. I get a little nervous about that. This is a much safer option, and I like that it comes with this USB. So I've got links to this. There are 2 Guru Nanda aromatherapy blends that I really love. One is the kids version that we actually use as ylang ylang and chamomile. Then they have an adult one that's really nice as well. Do you want me to take your collar off? So we love that. I'm gonna take Daisy's collar off for her. So that setting the environment at home is critical. So that's number 1. Number 2 is setting the mindset. So I talk a lot about, kind of having the mindset like all is well in my world, or I go with the flow for lymphatics, but kind of having that mental thought of just releasing, sometimes doing guided meditation, doing yoga before bed, releasing, and getting away from electronics and the blue light from TV and iPads and Kindle Fires and things like that. Just really kind of setting that aspect where you're disconnecting from technology, especially now we're also connected in technology, that becomes critical. So that and doing gratitude journaling are kind of the mental kind of preparation. So that's the second part, mental prep, kind of disconnecting, just allowing your body to get away from, looking at, like Melissa said, I keep looking at my phone at night. I totally get it. And, some nights that and I'm not going to say I'm 100% really great at this. Partly, and then evening, I prepare for today's show, kind of get my mental thoughts around like what we're going to talk about and some of my research. But then also sometimes I'm doing online, like I'm searching online, or like I was on eBay last night and, we discovered Gabriel has like summer jammies because I've missed 3 consignment sales. And so, those little things, like I have a stop time. So there's a time where like, okay, no more, I'm going to put my phone, and I actually plug it in here in my office. So it's away from my space. So this is the other thing, is to avoid having TVs and charging your phones in your rooms at night. So I really believe that there is that connection. Even when we are close to it, our brains don't always shut off. Especially because we're now like, if there's a ding or ping or whatever, you're like, oh, and it just it sets your adrenals off. So I just remove my phone from the room and I just disconnect. I literally disconnect. It's downstairs on the other side of the room. Like our bedroom's way over there on, the upstairs back corner. So it's a disconnect. And really we do have to do that. We have to be able to disconnect because our brains, the hardwiring of our body, we're not supposed to be so digitally connected. And I know that affects a lot of people. So, definitely, even I have friends and family that have charging stations. Some even have these charging doors you can plug in or kind of rig up where all the phones are. The whole family's phones are there. Nobody's, doing anything they shouldn't be doing at night on phones, like teenagers. And then also for adults, disconnecting. Now let's talk about the internal, because this is what you can control the most and have the biggest impact. Some of these things you might, be chatting with a friend, or, you might be watching a Netflix show, the, Tiger King or whatever, or what is it? I think it's the Tiger King. I feel like, yeah, it is. So anyway, you could be watching TV and not always practicing this, but the big thing is there are nutrients that you absolutely critically need to have in your body to balance yourself. And so for ladies who are hot flashing or men who have prostate challenges, I have solutions here mixed in with this. So number one, for sure, you need to be taking every day if you have any sleep challenges is vitamin D. Number one, D3. You can test it so you can identify, but some folks, I put 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 IUs of vitamin D a day. Other individuals, I will, let's see if you guys can see Daisy. She's sleeping over here. She's out of reach. Okay. I'm going to let you guys see her. She's sleeping. Other individuals might need a whole lot more or a little bit less, but just kind of tune into your D3. D3 is critical. So D3, just like yesterday, I recommend magnesium for sleep. D3 and magnesium together, those two will help you sleep better. The other thing I recommend is my botanical hemp oil. Okay, you guys know I've recommended a lot of this. A year ago, I used to do tons of videos on that. I don't do that anymore, but it has 3 little letters. And by the way, I have a coupon code for you. It's a 20% off code with my name, Melissa, and then the 3 little letters. And this happens to be a 3,000 milligram bottle. The dose itself, a dropper of this, I've run out of this one, but a dropper, it's about 100 milligrams. Very powerful at easing hormonal imbalances, neurotransmitter imbalances, biochemical imbalances, and aids in sleep and reduces pain. So there's a link if you guys want to grab it. 20% off. This bottle will save you about 40 or 50 bucks. It's pretty amazing. So again, Melissa with the 3 little letters. Okay. And that gives you a 20% off coupon. Kava tea is another one I love. I love kava tea. Kava is, I believe it's a Peruvian herb. It's a South American herb that is just as powerful as this botanical, but it really calms the central nervous system. So if you've got the mind racing and even the heart fluttering, heart palpitations, racing heart rate, kind of notice you might be getting more amped up at night, which is very common now because we are now moving into patterns where this is our new life. This is new normal right now. And it may be new normal for months. And I've been noticing irritability. Like I'm picking fights with Brian. I'm getting really upset. And, I'm getting upset. We're missing things at school, feeling bad for all these seniors and 8th graders who are going to graduate and not get the deserving, celebration. Brian's sister just turned 30 yesterday. Poor thing. They had a Zoom chat. I missed it because I was putting Gabriel down to sleep. But this is our new normal. We missed our wedding because of this. We've had to push it out. And today, I think today's the 9th. So in a year now, so a year from today, we'll be having our wedding. Hopefully all of our vendors stay afloat. That's my big concern. But this is all new. And we're dealing with this physically. I've had comments. I have people that are back to grinding their teeth. They're clenching. They are getting Charlie horses. They are waking up 1 to 3, 2 to 4. They're having hot flashes again. My men, the prostate is really, really ramped up. So kava tea is one of the things that I recommend. So in that kind of series, vitamin D, magnesium, the hemp oil, the botanical, kava tea. And then I also employ, oh, this is great. I actually, last night I got 9.5 hours. I think it was 9.5. Yeah, 9.5 hours of sleep. And it was glorious. REM sleep. This bad boy is powerful. These are little gel packs. This is a 10. I've been giving a lot away. So I'll choose a comment winner on the comment. So what I'll ask you to do is once this video is done, if you go back and comment, I'll choose a comment winner or a few comment winners to get this REM sleep, like a little sample. But this is something that has everything. There's 4 aspects to it. It has a sleep stage 1. This is the fall asleep blend. So they have valerian, lemon balm, jujube fruit, magnolia, which drops your cortisol, which is critical for balancing sleep, balancing blood sugar, and hop. So that gets you into a really good lull. And their magnolia bark's 150 milligrams. Their valerian's 100. Very, very powerful. Then sleep stage 2, it helps lower body temperature. It has omegas, glycine, it has magnesium and calcium. Then 3 is to get you sleeping long through the whole span. These are where we start to see the amino acids that are very balancing for the brain. It has vitamin B6, potassium, L-theanine. L-theanine is a nerve cardiovascular tonic, very, very balancing. L-arginine and L-ornithine. Then it has the REM sleep blend. It has just a little pinch of melatonin, like 0.75 milligrams, nothing major. It does have a little bit of that, but it's balanced with 5-HTP. That's a precursor to serotonin. So don't be surprised if you're feeling a little depression coming on. 5-HTP will bring you out of that. So this is good. It has GABA, which is a very pro-neurotransmitter tonic. Then it also has L-tryptophan. This is what gives me full solid sleep. And the amazing part today, Gabriel didn't wake me up. Usually he comes in at like between 5 and 6. So I slept so thoroughly, and holy cow, it's amazing. So quick little note, we want to thank our video sponsor for all of you new tuning in, Vine Nutrition, their hair, skin, and nail gummy. It's very fragrant and really yummy. I'm just gonna have a little bit. It's a passion flower flavored gummy. A mango-y kind of flavor. Really good. It's good for your hair, skin, nails. It supports with collagen, silicone, biotin, and PABA as well. Gummies get a little sticky to my teeth, but really, really good. They have $5 off a bottle and 25% off multi-pack. So we got to give them a shout out. Please check out their website. I've linked it down below. Ladies, let's talk about hot flashes. My single #1 powerful solution to hot flashes is a product you can grab on Amazon called Effisoy. Effisoy has 3 compounds. It has this extract from fermented soy, not GMO, America soy, Japanese. This fermented extract, it's called Aglamax. Aglamax drives down the hot flash symptoms. It also has DIM, which is derived from broccoli, very balancing for women and their hormones. This also is great for men, and it also is good if you have any type of stress. DIM is good for keeping your hormones balanced. So you don't have to have hot flashes. Any ladies or any men who feel like they're having a little estrogen dominance, they're having a little bit more of a hormonal imbalance, DIM can balance that out. Then it has a powerful adaptogen called maca. Maca helps us sleep better. Maca balances out the temperature imbalances, particularly with the hot flashes that we see that's estrogen driven. Maca is a progesterone support. So I've talked a little bit about progesterone, really, really powerful. So Donna, and that's Melissa, then those letters. Yes, 3 letters, starts with a C, ends with a D, and you can guess the middle one is the second letter of the alphabet. Okay. The things we have to do to work around this stupid algorithm. But very powerful, that one. And 20% off is awesome. Okay, so Ephisoy, you can grab on Amazon. I love it. And how you want to take it during the day because it's going to balance those hormones out. You don't have to necessarily take it at night, but it's 2 supplements and it'll get you through these hot flashes. So I just love that stuff. Very, very powerful. Whitney, you guys, as far as I know, are okay on the comments. I just am not in terms of my communication of the hemp oil that I love. 3 letters. Okay. So men, a lot of men have sleep challenges because of prostate challenges, prostate inflammation. They're getting up at night. And what happens is there's blood sugar imbalances at play. Cortisol is raging high. And then they also have the inflammation of the prostate because in the male body, I've talked a little bit about in previous videos where estrogen is in a greater quantity in the male body because the male body under stress, which we're all under, male bodies under stress take testosterone and convert it to estrogen. So the estrogen actually floods in and causes the prostate to expand. And there's a degree of inflammation that cuts off the urethra. So the ureter, they actually have challenges passing urine. Well, the underlying current is to balance cortisol. And so what I put all of my men on, and so this is very impactful for any of you who have husbands or men are watching, I put men on something called Cortisol Manager. And like the REM sleep, and this is what makes REM so powerful with anything else. It has hops, it has magnolia bark, but it has a whole bunch of other things that will bring down the cortisol. I have men that literally message me weeks later. It is a life-changing experience for them. So that's powerful. So I've got that. That I sell in my online store. That's not one of those things you're going to be able to find on Amazon. So I've had messages saying my links don't work. They do. But to gain access to FullScript, I just need your email and your phone number. It sets you up with an account. If you decide to buy, you put in a whole bunch of other info. We do auto shipping. So I have, hundreds of men who every month they're just getting this Cortisol Manager because it's been so powerful. They were like, I can't run out of this. And if they do, they freak out. So it just puts them on the auto ship. All of my supplements in my online store. So FullScript is the clearinghouse where we have over, I think it's 15 or 20,000 high professional grade, very quality products. It's 10% off everything automatically. So Mari T said, do I have a discount code? It's just 10% off. So when you check out, it's automatic on everything. They have animal products. They have skincare products. They've got, vaginal support. They've got items that you can insert for yeast infections. They've got kids stuff, lots of great pet stuff. So everything you can find in there. We have a lot of people who do sports protein powders and protein mixes. Just really high quality brands, high quality lines. Love, love, love it. Okay, so that's for my men. Now for kids, there is a product. I've highlighted it just once or twice. So we use this with Gabriel. It's Geneva is the name of it. Or not Geneva, Genexa. And they have a homeopathic supplement for kids because a lot of parents don't want to put their kids on melatonin or give them anything too substantial. But homeopathy is very powerful for kids. It has a sleepology. Yeah, sleepology is the name of it. And it's this cute little blue, it's upstairs. It's like blue, purple, kind of little pink bottle. Genexa is awesome. They also have the cold tabs for kids, the homeopathics. I love that brand. Very, very powerful. So I see a lot of people joining. We're just really digging into sleep, how to balance your sleep. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. Very, very impactful for balancing your sleep. And, one of the things with sleep, other things that you can do so Octagon Biolabs, they're the ones that sell, my favorite 3-letter herbal botanical. They also have a balm. Okay, so I love this. It's very similar to my level 4 balm, This is a milder balm. I use this at night. So it's got a lavendery eucalyptusy scent. It's very calming. And so how I use this is, I'm going to give you my little giveaway. I will grab a little bit of this. So I get a little bit on my fingers and I will just rub my carotid arteries. I smell it too. It's so good. This, the botanical infuses in and you get good calming, very good calming herbals, pain reliever, anti-inflammatory, and central nervous system calming. Plus the oil, it's like a chest rub, but just milder. But oh my gosh. And this is a base, let me tell you, it is made from beeswax, MCT oil, lavender oil, and eucalyptus. And the 3-letter extract is in here. In this, they have 2 versions. They have a 250 and they have a 500. I get the 500. It's great. Love, love, love that stuff. So very powerful. And that's my little trick. This just kind of calms me down. So I slather this on before I go to bed. So I'll slather this on, drink a little kava tea. Usually I take my REM sleep. Like this REM sleep this has been a game changer. I used to have this one product called Cavanance, and it had this particular ingredient that the FDA pulled it partially because it's so powerful. It wasn't harmful, but it was interfacing where it was much more potent than some of the sleep aids that are on the market. Well, REM sleep has come up with a combination just as powerful in just a much broader sense. So you actually get more full body balancing in this than you used to in the Cavanance. So this actually is a lot better than what I used to recommend, because you're balancing blood sugar, you're balancing your body temperature, you're lowering cortisol, you're also supporting the neurotransmitters and the biochemistry. Love this. So these guys, I've got a link down below to the REM sleep. It is, it's actually made by a physician. He's in New Jersey. He is one of the leading guys leading the charge on stem cell therapy. So he's just really far out and advanced in his assessment of what our body needs. He has labs down in Costa Rica. If you watched the one Pain Revealed series that I was interviewed on in June, it launched in July, August. He is the doctor who does the stem cell transplants and things. Pretty amazing. So everything they've got anti-aging supplements, they've got nutrients like your multivitamin, and they've got it divided out morning and evening based on the absorption. So some things you don't want to take together. So they actually have divided that out so you get more production and more value from what you're taking and spending your money on. It's pretty amazing. So they have the sleep. They also have a bioactive gel. This is a gel. It's really yummy. Love, love, love that. So I will be doing a video on the UV filter. So you guys can see Daisy. There she is. So the UV filter, I'll be doing a kind of not a review, but a tutorial of like how they're powerful. We happen to have, this is EnviroCleanse, and I have some links down below. I think they still have one of the units, they have a pretty substantial like $200 or $300 discount landing page for us. So I think I've posted that, but they're really, really good. I love them because they are as powerful as our HEPA air units, and it allows me to change these out where we only get an annual service with our air filter, but pretty powerful. So let me see. I'm going to answer some questions here. Let's see here. Nicole K, 68. I'm willing to try anything to help sleep and hormonal imbalance. Yeah. So FSOI, REM sleep, super powerful. Vitamin D, magnesium. When you start sleeping, what happens is you start feeling better. Your body starts to rejuvenate your adrenals. So the most powerful adrenal rejuvenation is to give your body powerful sleep. So, I put people on adrenal supplements all the time But at the end of the day, if you're not sleeping well, it's not as effective. The most effective is your own body's natural rejuvenation. So I really think that's important. And we are in a stressful time. Mari T says, I've used FSOA after a week or so. It's very effective. Yeah, it's so fantastic. Robert, I'm lucky to get 5 hours of sleep a night, not counting 3 or 4 times I wake up. I'm so sorry. It's terrible when you are like that. The only time I've ever experienced that was when I was pregnant. The first and third trimesters were brutal. God's nature's like, it's brutal. And, you know, I always laugh, like, it's preparation for me having to get no sleep for like months on end. But essentially, let you guys see Daisy over here. Essentially, when you're not sleeping well, you just feel awful. And that lack of sleep, it's just not enough to be restorative. And what happens is you end up not even allowing your liver and other organs to have a detox or a break. And so that's the other thing. It's just beyond the adrenals. Your whole entire system has to reset and recalibrate. And you'll wake up refreshed. You won't be as puffy. You'll just feel like, wow, I feel really great. You might not have the mid-back pain, which is very common. Okay, so let's see here. Jenny and Donna and Pat. Pat's so great. Like, can we also, by the way, let's give a little hand of applause to Pat Wagner. Voluntarily stepped up to be our moderator. I'm so grateful to you, Pat, and her husband. They're so cute. They're on watching and moderating and blocking trollers who are awful. But yeah, I really want to thank Pat. So let's give her a thumbs up. And Pat, you're getting hearts on Instagram. Let's see. Jenny from the block says, I slept well last night after including magnesium. Yes. Sophie's baby 6, only in my dreams do I get that much sleep. I know. So here's the thing. You can, you will, and you'll be dreaming. And dreams are a really good sign that you are getting sleep. So you don't have to just dream about it. You can literally rejuvenate your body. Basketball fan says, my jaw's locked. My doctor won't answer the phone all day. If I go surgery, I shoved away, told ring first. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so yeah, so Robert's doing good by kind of distancing himself from his phone. And yeah, Pat's awesome. Pat, you're getting lots of love. And Ron's Pat's husband. He's so sweet. Thanks, Ron, for helping Pat. Lots of love. So hot flashes. So Michelle says, oh my gosh, yes, and the hot flashes. I think it's a fever or hot flashes. It's hard to tell. So, and you know, sometimes too, you can have a hot flash and actually have low body temperature, which is the whole thyroid thing. So I do need to address the thyroid in one of our morning videos, and I do plan on it. Oh, and I actually have a report for you guys. Remember that squirrel I would see outside? Turns out she's a mama squirrel. I just saw her yesterday. She was just stocking up on her food. So we have a we have babies somewhere. I don't know where they are, but they are somewhere in our yard, apparently. Hopefully they're in the front yard. Let's see. Cytomegalovirus says, does my Saltland have to be on to be beneficial? Yes, it does need to have the heat to diffuse the salt. So you definitely, like, you guys see that right there. So these I got at Aldi. Like, and I tell you what, I'm totally Aldi jonesing. Like, there is this one place that I really want to go to, and it's Aldi for some reason. Because this is the rose season, and I always get like $4.99 roses from Aldi. But anyway, I got these from Aldi for like $7.99. They're not nearly as cheap on Amazon, but I think I posted a $9.99 one in the link down below. But I get them like, I have them in my office. I have them, and I have an office upstairs. At some point, I want to set that up so I can do these lives and have a little bit more technology to do slideshows and stuff. But I set them up in all of our bedrooms as well. So I just buy a whole bunch, and the little light bulbs are super inexpensive. And that's sometimes all I have to replace. So come here, Daisy. So Instagram, we have a minute to go, and I'll pick you back up on the other side. Yes, I would, Felicia, take more. Oh, Octagon Biolabs, I've got a recommendation. Let's see, Whitney, okay. Thank you for having a hard time sleeping. Oh, having a hard time convincing your 17-year-old son with sleep issues. Yes. Okay. So this is what I do for kids or teens. I slip a lot of stuff in Gabriel's food. So like the magnesium, you could slip that into his food. And even if you made some sort of brothy substance, it could be pasta or whatnot, drip in some vitamin D. Once it's on his plate, just drip it in and see how it goes. So sometimes you have to be really savvy. Parent sneaks. All right, Instagram, we're going to catch you up on the other side. Okay, so let me in them. Okay, so let's see. Oh, it's trying to reconnect. This is so weird. Hi, Daisy. Okay, so let me save that. Share story. Okay, so we'll bring back Instagram just for a few minutes. Share story. Okay, let me bring them back up. Okay, oh, stinky breath. Yeah, stinky breath. Hi, Instagram. We're back on part 2 of our live show. I've got my little co-host, Daisy, over here. You might be able to see her nose right there. So we are just wrapping up our conversation about sleep, answering a lot of questions you might have about how to get restful sleep, balanced sleep. One of the products I recommend is REM sleep. This is a very powerful product. And our video today is brought to you by Vine Nutrition, their hair, skin, and nails gummy. So they're giving everybody a $5 off a bottle and 25% off a multi-pack. So we're grateful for them. All right. So I want to answer several questions. Oh gosh, Donna has an all black mama squirrel that comes to your bedroom window. Wow, that's so neat. We've seen an all black squirrel, and then we saw an all white squirrel. We saw the black squirrel. I feel like we saw out west. That's really cool. Ours are pretty chunky. They're totally stocking up on what we feed them. Yeah, Jan is feeling the Aldi deprivation. So today are my runs, my store runs, and then I'm done for like a month or so. I'm just stocking up on the last bit of stuff. We have our freezer that came, and it definitely, we're going to go even into more hibernative mode given everything that's going on. So, okay. Yeah, so we got lots of squirrel feeders, lots of animal love. All right. And yes, Vine Nutrition, I'm grateful for their support. This is so great. So every day I'll have video sponsors. I've lined up quite a few. I'm just waiting on some of their items. Like this arrived yesterday and here it is today. So woohoo. All right. Ron, he's so sweet. Yeah, so Donna, same thing with our squirrel. That's what I was like, oh, you're a mommy. Because before I was like, what are you doing? I'm tapping on the window telling the squirrel, like, stop stealing the bird seed. And then I realized like she's got babies. So mom to mom, I'll feed her whatever she needs to keep her cute little babies alive. Okay, so hi, Live Life One. All right, any other questions about sleep? I'm just going to scroll through. Melissa K says she takes Benadryl, allergies. Yeah, so I would try, the nasal spray for allergies. I really love, the saline spray, and then even the Xlear. That's very powerful at balancing that. And yes, thanks everybody. Hit the thumbs up if you're loving this content. And also, if you don't like this format, let me know. I try to give you news and I try to go into a specific detailed video. I'm getting not a lot, but some of our regular viewers just don't like the live show format. So I might have to kind of outsource some of the editing. It's just really hard here. Mornings I'm working, and then the afternoon it's mommy, school, Gabriel time. All right, so crochet fiddler. I take Humira and gabapentin for arthritis, so I still take what you recommend. Can I still take what you recommend? Okay, so what I would do, ask your pharmacist, particularly like the REM sleep, D3, that's standard, D3 and magnesium. But with the sleep, there are some items in here that I would check with the valerian and the lemon balm. I'm not familiar with those. And we have a chipmunk now. We've got a little chipmunk on our feeder. Yeah, he's a hoarder. Chipmunks truly are hoarders. Like if you want to talk about, he comes out, he's like full of seeds. So we'll have to fix that. Okay, did I discuss melatonin with sleep? I actually, Nicole, I talk about it in REM sleep. So REM sleep's my kind of all-in-one sleep product that I recommend. They have a small dose of melatonin, but to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of using melatonin. Melatonin can offset, I'll say this singularly. So a lot of people just take melatonin and then it doesn't work, and it sometimes makes things worse. So I like to do and add things in that will balance the neurotransmitters, that will support and lower cortisol, because there's all these underlying aspects at play. And melatonin, like with anything else, there's no like quick fix for anything. This is just a slow process. And so I've had some people say, well, I tried it one time, it didn't work. Well, guess what? When you're imbalanced, one supplement one day is not going to do anything. I mean, at minimum, 5 to 7, 5 to 10, 7 to 10, 7 to 14 days, you need to have patience. And, I see this a lot with Gabriel, like it's human nature. We want stuff now. And the reality is like pharmaceuticals for sure play that role, but that's not the space I'm in. And so, for sure, give these things time to work. We had somebody comment they took magnesium as I had recommended. Oh, Melissa K, thanks for the super chat. $4.99. Thank you. You totally made my day. I appreciate it. And I'm happy to share my knowledge. Gloria, you love my dress. Thanks. This is a newer, this is one of these things that I bought on Amazon with one of the products. So thanks. It's got a little, I don't know, but I like the print. I'm not so sure. It's a really thin material. But I am going to be gardening in this later on with Gabriel. By the way, we have probably 100 strawberry plants that have gone rogue in my garden. So I'm going to deal with that later. I bought a strawberry. I'll post, I need to post on Instagram pictures, but I got a strawberry tower planter. And so now they can kind of hang over and grow within there versus having the strawberries on the dirt. But yeah, you guys are sweet. So yes, REM sleep will help with night terrors. So it depends on what is the cause of the terrors, but it will get you and the neurotransmitters balanced. A lot of times night terrors are going to be intense stress. If anything, the hops and the magnolia will deal with the cortisol impact. So I would give it a whirl, but again, depending on how intense the night terrors are, it might take a few days or a week or so to see how you feel. I notice I take it 2 hours. I take my little gel pack 2 hours before the desired bedtime. So if I want to go to bed at 9:30, I take it at 7:30, like right after I put Gabriel down. Let's see. What about a bath before bed? What can I put in the bath for sleep? I would put Epsom salts. So the magnesium salt that you're going to get as part magnesium. I think it's magnesium sulfate and then sulfur. That's what Epsom salts is made of. Soaking in it, as long as it's into the body temperature range, like 100, 101, that's comfortable. It's not too hot. As the bath cools down, your skin's absorbing, and that's how you can get we call it iontophoresis, but you basically are absorbing the nutrients. And then I would try like lavender, chamomile, essential oils. There are different blends, like ylang ylang for some people is very calming. Very, very, very powerful. Let's see. My son had night terrors when he was young due to an allergy medicine he was taking. I stopped immediately and it went away. Yeah. So night terrors tend to be some sort of reaction to something. And it's hard to know what that derivative was, but, process of elimination, kind of articulating what might be causing it. I used to have really bad nightmares when I was little. And I'm a sleepwalker, sleep talker type of like weird REM sleeper. And that cut down after my parents removed certain things from my like daily viewing diet. Like I watched Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo scared the heck out of me. So it could very well be something that you're not even cognizant that you're being exposed to. That could be in the brain, how our brain processes certain things. So it could be PTSD stuff as well. And a lot of times we don't even recognize what and acknowledge what might be a PTSD source. So, and nowadays a lot of this quarantining is really, really it's touching on things that maybe aren't healed, or we've thought we've healed and we haven't. I also want to do one of my lives on for specifically on folks with ADD. Folks that need to kind of be on the go, and like can't settle down are really having a hard time in this zone. Oh, Anaga Dalvi. I hope I said your name right. Welcome. We have a new YouTube community member, private community member. I'm so excited. Gretchen, Scooby-Doo for you too. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, it was bad. And I think I was Gabriel's age. And I mean, the doctor was like, well, there's got to be something that she's watching that's scary. And like, it's all the ghosts in Scooby-Doo. And my mom was horrified because I loved it. And that and the Pink Panther, apparently had some nightmares about the Pink Panther. So it's just so crazy. I laugh about it. But I mean, I was a wreck as a young child. Rescue Remedy, absolutely. And I actually have that. I can show you. Rescue Remedy. Love that. Great recommendation. Love this. This I'm almost out of. Yeah, pretty much out of it. I use this all the time. I've got the dropper. I actually like the spray delivery better, but the spray's been hard to find. So the dropper is what I have now. But yeah, I call it, it's my Teflon. Anytime I do anything major, like business talking, speaking, or major intense emotional stuff, I'm always taking that. Okay, Sharon. Yes. So I know that, oh, we've got somebody from Korea. Welcome. So 19-year-old was definitely afraid of the human Scooby movie. Yeah. So Scooby-Doo, craziness, but to this day, and it's come back, and I'm like, nope, we're not watching Scooby-Doo for Gabriel. And so I think that's very interesting. But okay, so friends, I thank you for your time. We've gone over. I gotta get this, gotta work with Brian to get our freezer in. We could get the freezer going because our shoppers are doing their thing. I've got a whole bunch of frozen items. What is that called? The Rescue Remedy Spray. Hey, Daisy. Do you want to say bye to everybody? Here, we'll have Daisy say goodbye. Come on. Up. Come here. Okay, good girl. All right, so Daisy's going to say goodbye. Daisy, good girl. Say bye, everybody. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow, we'll talk about another wonderful topic. Maybe we'll do a thyroid specific topic. So I'll look and see. I polled everybody on YouTube. And we'll dig into more topics and more news. I'm sure the CDC is going to put out some new news. No, that's my collagen stuff. All right, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Instagram, like, share, do a little screen grab, share this with your friends, tag me at Natural Health Resources. Same thing for you guys on YouTube. I'm so grateful. So Instagram, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so in now, share story. Thanks, YouTube. So Daisy, my girl, she keeps jumping the fence, little naughty girl. Why do you want to get away from us? All right, you guys, thanks as always. It's been a very exciting time to spend time with you. And hopefully you'll get sleeping better. REM sleep for sure. I have that link down below. And then all the other items to help. And let's definitely thank our friends over at Vine Nutrition. Check out their website through the link down below. And I'm so grateful. We'll all have great hair, skin, and nails so that when we actually go out and about and do our hair and socialize again, we'll be looking fabulous. All right, friends, have a great rest of your day and tune in tomorrow at 9 a.m. Bye.